Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to season 1, episode 7 of A Haircare Affair. On tonight's episode, we are going to talk about multi-textured hair. And what I mean by multi-textured hair, I mean hair from different races. I also mean hair of mixed races. We're going to talk about products, care, and styles and services that are particularly offered for multicultural hair. Typically, with people of Caucasian descent, you typically have a pretty straight texture of hair, whether it's thick, whether it's fine, it's still for the most part pretty straight. Once you wet it, it doesn't typically curl up a lot. Some may not curl up at all. And some people have like a slight whoop. And what I'm it's just a whoop. It's just not straight, put it like that. Well, when you talk about multi-textured hair, you still have to take care of it just like any other fiber. It is also still made up of the protein keratin. So you have to treat it like I said, any other fiber. You must maintain it so it will stay resilient. And typically, just because it's straight, or a lot of people feel like it's less maintenance. Have you seen some that's damaged? Because it can be damaged. A lot of people with a naturally straight texture of hair typically just do like a color and cut. And those are high dollar services. But it's typically a color and a cut. Unless there's a wedding or a special event, then they may get it styled more in depth, such as curls, updos, what have you. But typically, it's a color and it's a cut. And when you talk about color, sometimes you are prone to overlap the color on the strands, and that will fry it quicker than any hot iron. Overlapping color, that's why you must be careful because color is a chemical. I don't care if it's because if you feel as though it's not as harsh or not as chemicalized as, like, say, a relaxer, it's still a chemical. And if you overlap it too many times, it will frizzle and it will fry and it will break off. So typically, if you have a professional stylist who has been trained to um, apply color, or to render a color service on you, they typically know not to overlap it too many times because they know what will happen to it. Even with permanence, when you have a straighter texture of hair and you want to go in and you want to put curl in it, you still have to be careful with that because I've seen some over processed perms and they are atrocious. And like with any other texture of hair, you have to take that time out. You have to seek out or research a professional grade product that can help you go in and reverse that damage. Typically, with straighter textures of hair, whether that is people of Caucasian descent, people of Latin descent or Mexican descent, people of Middle Eastern descent, where Europe, wherever they are from, even right here in good old United States of America, you still have to be mindful that it is fibers and that you must take care of it. In my personal experience as a 25 plus year veteran in the cosmetology field, I've noticed that a lot of people with like a Latin or a Mexican descent, they typically have strong hair. I mean, it is strong and it's tons of it. I mean, it's so dense, you know, and you can pretty much those particular types of fibers, they don't too tough damage too easily, though they can damage. Even people with a mixed race, it's softer, but you still have to be mindful that it is fibers and that it will break if you don't take care of it. I've seen a lot of people with mixed race hair, and you know, I would say, "Oh, your hair is so pretty," and just play around in their curls or run my hands through, and they're like, "I can't stand it," and I'm like, "What? Why can't you stand it?" But yeah, you'll be surprised. You know what you think is the ideal hair. The person that has it might not like it. They might feel like it's unmanageable. Like say if they want a flat iron, just because it's majority, or I'm gonna say a straighter texture, just because of that, you still have to use stuff like Iron Guard and heat protected spray just to flat iron it, or it will burn. Like it's like anything else, it will burn off. And so you just have to be mindful when doing something simple as flat ironing. But you will maintain it as any other hair type. And that begins with a good shampoo at the shampoo bowl. How can you render a A1 service and the hair is not clean? I mean, yeah, and the hair is not clean. So personally, I am all for a good shampoo. That's first. And then you want to go back in, whether that's now typically you won't have to use a lot of moisturizing products. Definitely a fortified shampoo, which is something to strengthen it. And a good fortifying shampoo is Redken Fortifying Shampoo. It is excellent. It I've used it on African American hair. I had a client whose hair was shedding and shedding terribly bad. I used the Redken Fortifying Shampoo, and within a few shampoos, it stopped. And we were able to continue on with our normal styling session. But, typically with the straighter textures of hair, you want to do it as normal, and that is shampoo with a chelating or a fortifying shampoo. Then you want to go back with conditioning, a cream conditioner. A lot of times, I've noticed that people, I'm going to say, whereas African Americans have to use conditioner, you have to. A lot of times I've noticed or I've seen or experienced where people with straighter textures of hair, they typically don't use a conditioner. And if they do, they put it on just on the top and rinse it right back out. But I recommend that if you're going to use a product, go ahead and let it sit for a few minutes, 5 at the most, 3 at the least, so you can get the maximum benefit out of that product. Also, when you are talking about styling aids, they stuff like Kenra, Big Sexy, Amplify by Matrix. Let's see. Paul Mitchell has some good ones. Sebastian has good ones. Like, you just have to do your research when choosing products, styling aids, shampoos, and conditioners for any hair type. any hair type, you should definitely have done a client consultation before servicing that client, so you will know what that particular client and their hair texture will need. Um, I've also had people of Caucasian descent um, get dreads. I have, applied or what's the word? I don't want to say insert, but I have put dreads in two people's hair of with a straighter hair texture. I have pictures of one. I have to find the pictures of the other one. But I've also done numerous color servants, not servants, service, numerous color services on people with straighter textured hair. Such as I'm talking about $250 to $300 services, full head of full highlights, plus haircut. That's the kind of work I like to do. High dollar services. Either way, with any hair texture or type, you just want to make sure that you're in the know as to what that particular client needed. And on that note, we are going to bring this episode to a close. I hope it was informative to you as I am sharing my expertise that I have gathered over the course of, again, 25 plus years. I've been in this business and I have done everyone's hair. I've cut everyone's hair. I've colored everyone's hair. And it's just a blessing to be an expert in my field. So with that being said, don't forget to love on each other. Don't forget to love yourself. Don't forget to take care of yourself and look out for others and be good out there. I'll leave you with pictures of a haircut on a straighter textured hair that someone received. And also, I will leave you pictures of some examples of dreads being inserted in someone's hair with a straighter texture of hair. And lastly, but definitely not least, also, I will leave you pictures of a beard trimming, a before and an after, where a client, the client that had gotten dreads put in, their beautician also went back and shaped up and lined up their beard. Well, until next episode, next Monday at 7 o'clock. I'll see you guys then. Bye.